Okay, we're looking at this photo here. I'm not sure why it looks like that. I'm going to go ahead and crop it out first. Fish scale photo. Alright, and then I'm going to try to get this a little bit better. First, we need to change it to black and white. So I'm going to go down here, on black and white, push apply, go back to your box here, go to exposure. I want to see what an auto adjust does. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I actually want my contrast just a little bit more. My shadows deepen a little more. And that's going to help me. This is a little harder photo because I've had something like this, but where it's lighter at the top, darker at the bottom. It makes it a little more difficult, but we're going to work with it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my lipstick tool and go all the way down. And some of this I'm not going to really worry about because I'm going to replace the background. Let's do it this way first. But this just bothers me, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of just get that out of there. It bothers me. Okay. I just kind of want to take that wrinkle out. All right. So then we're going to start coloring this. So I'm going to go to my highlight tool. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go to my lipstick tool. And the reason, I'll show you the reason I'm doing this. I'm going to turn the hardness down on my brush. I'm going to do it the same way you did. I'm going to do it with the blue. Adjust my brush size. Let's see what I'm looking at here. And all right. So this is not going to be perfect, but I'm going to go in and just kind of start coloring this in. I really just wanted you to see what the difference in a background makes. But I also wanted you to see the different ways to do some skin tones and picmonkey that are going to make it a lot easier. Make your skin tones look a little more realistic. Because that was something that I struggled with when I first started. The spray tans make them look really tan and all one color. And there's a couple of different ways to do it. So I'm going to look at this. And I'm going to be out of the lines in places, I can already tell. But like I said, this is just a really quick job here. And I'm using the lipstick tool because I can adjust the intensity and the tone on this a little bit easier and get a more precise color that I want rather than on the highlights. You can do it on the highlights too. It's just kind of a pain. So I prefer it this way. Everybody will find their own way on doing this. And picmonkey, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing anyways. So I'm going to kind of go over this. And you're probably going to clone like some of his outfit out right here, like in the bottom. You can clone some of that out and get some of the imperfections out of that. But I think you did a pretty good job on that. So I'm not going to really worry too much about that, showing you that, because you seem to have that down. But I just kind of want to... And it looks like his pants are actually a different shade, a little bit darker shade. They may have been a black with his coat. So I'm going to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to go here and adjust my tones. You see all the places that I missed. Let's go over that a little better. It's a lot easier to fill in when you can see it better. It's a lot harder to see sometimes when it's light. And there's a light color you can't really tell. And take that down some so I can get over here. And zooming in will always help you because it's going to bring it up a lot bigger. And then I'm going to take the intensity down, and that actually looks pretty good there. That's a good blue. I'm going to go up and kind of look at it, bring it down some. May still be a little bit too bright. Like I said, it's one of those photos that's really awkward to do because of the two tones. It's real light at the top, real dark at the bottom. And that may be why the pants look a little darker too. That's my phone. Okay. So with that being said, we may actually, it's going to give it a little darker tone, but I think I am actually going to go ahead and do his pants these color. Because it may just be the fading and the shading of the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Like I said, that's not really what I wanted to concentrate anyway. I've got to turn that hardness down. It's mainly your skin tones in the background. Whoa, that's tense. Okay, now I'm going to concentrate on the other. Alright, for your skin tones, there's a lot of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you the best way for me. I got the eyebrow pencil, and I usually pick either this one here or this orange one. The orange one's going to get a little peachier shade. So I'm going to go in and just go in here. And sometimes they're wearing gloves, but in this one it doesn't look like he actually is. So that's going to cover over that nicely. It's still kind of bright, but picmonkey is one of those that's a little bit harder to adjust those bright shades. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. The eyebrow tool will kind of sit on top. So will the blush. Okay, I'm going to kind of fade that down some. That's not the color I want, but I'm going to do lip tint because that's going to actually sit on top too. And I'm actually just going to pick a shade through it because I can adjust it on this one. But you'll see it takes the color really well when you use that lip tint tool through here. It sticks to those really highlighted areas. Like I said, this is very rough. I'm just kind of showing you tones and textures. And this is an incredibly difficult photo to do. It's not an easy one to do. I can tell that just by looking at it. And I didn't even get his hat. I like to pick my own brows. And then I would go in and kind of do his hair, clean up around the hair and the face. And the honest to God truth is this, and it took me a long time to understand this, like when you're coloring for Color Eyes and places like that, sometimes you want to do a better job, but you have to accept what you can do and do your best. And that's all that anybody asks. You know, you do your best and you try. We don't ask any more than that. You know, because what one person can do, the next person's not going to be able to. So, I mean, it's not necessarily about how good you are, this and yet. Do your best. Okay, and now I'm just going to real quickly show you how to replace this background. Go to the one that looks like a grid. And you're going to choose your own. It's going to say up in my texture. And I've got some saved. So I can pick one from here. There's several. I kind of like that one, actually. And I'm going to push open. And you can see it. And I'm going to go reverse effect. And then I'm actually going to turn my fade up because I want it like that. Okay? And then I'm going to start painting this in. And I actually want this. I think I want this in. Sometimes I do use multiply, but I think it's actually going to look better in normal. Because it's going to take out all of this roughness that's in the background that you're having trouble with. And you're going to be able to fade this down. Adjust my brush size. Maybe not that small. I still got a lot big areas to do. Yeah, get a little bit bigger. So I can get a little closer. Not that close. If you happen to do that, because I have done that, I will show you how to fix that in just a second. And there. And the longer you do this, the little bit easier it gets to kind of gauge about replacing backgrounds and stuff, because it will actually just cover that right up. We don't want that. So where we want to take it off, we're going to go back to original and just click where we want it removed, like through here where his pants are. And that'll clean that up. So as you get closer to these edges, I actually turn my hardness up a little bit because you don't want a real blurry edge because it's not going to give you that sharp edge that those clothes have. So you just want to kind of go over it like this. And I'm not real good, I'm getting real good on his hat. Like I said, I just want to show you a basic example. I'm just cutting all into his clothes here. Winter. I'm just going to original. I'm going to go back and even that out some. Okay. I'm going to take this down so I can get right in here. Not what I wanted to do, but that'll work. Okay. So, I actually have a little bit more I need to get right here in this tight spot. To help this blend. And that actually blends pretty good. Actually. I really don't right there. But you work with what you're given. I'm going to try to smooth that out some. Take my brush hardness back down. And that gives it kind of a little bit better look there. And then I'm going to turn the saturation down so that it's not standing him out from him. And I'm just going to kind of see a little bit of white here that I'm going to go around and try to get those edges. I colored a lot of his hat. And it's just at a really odd angle. Go back and fix that. There. And that just, you want a little color. That just kind of helps him blend in a little better. And it's going to look a little bit better than not having another not having a background.